Hello everyone, the Klaus here, and today guys I'm going to review a Megabloks Dragons set released in 2005 as part of the Fire and Ice subsim, and it's going to be the Fire Sentry. So here we go, so one of the smaller set of the subsim, which can be called a battle pack I guess, because it features some warriors and some element of construction like a little structure. So that said, here's the box you can see with the Megabloks Fire and Ice Dragons logo, of course the name, the set number, stuff like that. You can see the set right there plus the 3 figures. Here one of the 3 figures in a close-up shot, and also you can see here a little see-through transparent clear plastic part in which at first you were able to see one of the figures. So quite cool. Then on the back, some other sets from the Fire and Ice subsim are more like the subsim which will be released after and which was based on the Wizards. So not really Fire and Ice, more like some other sets. So yeah, not really interesting. It's a little complex to explain because subsim and the subsim in the Dragons universe are quite hard to understand and to figure out. But that's another story, because here we're going to talk about the Fire Sentry. So, well, here's the box itself. In fact, when you put off the cardboard part, so you can see a big plastic part. You can see the open button right there, and here you go. You have a nice case, nice plastic case to put all your parts and figures in there. So quite cool. Of course, it's supposed to be like fire, I guess, even if it's look quite well, not that good, but at least it's a nice box and it can be well used to store your parts. So quite cool. And I don't have the instructions booklet for this set, guys, but well, of course, it was the instructions, the parts list, and maybe a little poster, but well, we're gonna see the posters on some other reviews, so nothing really important for the instructions booklet. So just let's move on to the set itself, with first the minifig, or the figures. So well, what you have to know first about the sim is that well, it was released, of course, after the Iron Raiders subsim, and it features in fact 2 armies. The first army, is called the Fire One, and in fact it's made of warriors from the Draga and the Norvagan armies. So this means it's well obviously the same warriors but in a new color, and they fight against the Vorgan, but not the old Vorgan, the Ice Vorgan. So once again, as you will see, it will be the same figures but in a different color. And well, first we're going to begin with the Ice Vorgan. So as you can see, it's the same mod as the traditional Vorgans, which were, I remember, first released in 2003 as part of the Crystal Wars subsim. But here it's got some new colors, so forget the dark green and brown, and well, no, it's more like light green, turquoise, and white. So you can see the mod is the same. And of course, for those who do not know the articulations, you got 1 point of articulation per arms, 1 per legs, and 1 on the head. As you can see here, the Vorgans are quite like hunchback or orc, so this means their head is on their body and not, well, behind their shoulders, as you can see, which is quite cool. But apart from that, it's the same mold as before, and of course, well, you have to notice the magnet in there, which is quite useful to for some play features, which works with magnet, and also the fact that the legs are all the same between the different armies. And so it comes with some weapons, so well, traditional Vorgan's weapons, so like the hammer, so nothing really new right there. So the shield is also the same mold, but this time it's a newer color, as you can see, with the same light green color scheme as the figure itself. And here we go, you got your Ice Vorgan completed, so, well, a recolor, but still quite cool. And now let's move on to the Fire One army, and well, in this set it's quite cool because they give you the 2 only new warriors mold that they released in the Dragons Fire and Ice subsim, because yes, well, there are also some other new molds, but for the warriors themselves, it's the only new molds. And so let's begin with this guy. So they each got a name, but of course I don't have the name of the warriors. And as you can see, the body is different, but unlike the previous bodies, there is no weapon on the back, as you can see. But the legs and the arms are the same, and of course the head is totally different. So you can see it's based on a Draga frame because of the horn on the side and the visor and stuff like that. But it got, as you can see, a flame up his head, which is nice because it's transparent plus some orange transparent color on top of it. So quite cool. Of course, it got the same articulations as the Vorgan, but with the neck right there. And well, for the weapon, we're going to have a Draga mold, Draga shield mold, so nothing really new. But once again, in the color of the Draga, so this means red and dark gray. Really dark gray, in fact. It's closer to the black than to the gray. And the weapon, which is once again not really new. And finally, the second Firewind Warrior, which got the second new head, as you can see, but this time it's based on a Norwegian head for the little wings on the sides, and of course the head, which is very specific to the Norwegian's mold, plus of course the little flame, which is a little smaller than the one I just shown you. The body is the same, and it can be said also for the arms and legs. For the shields, well, excuse me, well, it's the Norwegian type. And the same can be said for the weapon, which is a little, well, knife, I can say. Excuse me, not like it. Excuse me for my horrible English, guys. So here we go, all the three warriors you're going to have in this set. So it's really important because these three guys are really one of the unique warriors which were released in the Fire and Ice sub-sim. At least in the Firewind sim, because you're gonna see that in the next set, the Ice Vorgans are also going to have some new body molds and head molds. So that said, now let's move on to the building itself, the little structure, so the Sentry. So first we're going to use this base plate, which is not new, but got a newy color with some, well, light yellow part right there, and of course the lava color here, which is quite cool. Then I'm going to link this little wood bridge and two 2x4 stud bricks right there. So of course it's the dragon's bricks, so this means, as you can see, there is a little effect on them to make look like there are some bricks. Real bricks, in fact. So I'm going to link this right there. Then I'm going to link these two new type of flame mold, as you can see, which are a little blocky, so it's quite strange for a flame. Maybe it's an ice flame, I don't really know, but it's quite weird. And as you can see, you have a fade which goes from trans orange, trans yellow to red, which is not transparent at all. I'm going to link two of these parts like that. Then I'm going to link this part, so with a plate and then a brick. And then I'm going to link the part which will be put behind. So it will be made with some other bricks and plates. Then this part, which are new mold from Fire and Ice. So quite cool, quite well detailed with two colors, as you can see. And as you also can notice, we got 2 points of connection, so this means you can put the parts like that, but if you feel like, you can also put it in this way. So that's also one of the Megabloks trademark, is to make some bricks which can be used in both ways thanks to this system. So it's not really used by Lego. Of course, with Lego you can still do this type of stuff with, if you want, with the snot technique, so which means studs not on the top. But well, Megabloks, it's quite more precise. What I want to mean is that the bricks are really designed this way. Yes. And finally, I'm just going to link these 2 bricks. I will link these things on just 2 studs like that. And finally, I will add these parts, which are not new, on both sides. And here we go, the little Sentry, well, Fire Sentry is finished. So here's a little turnaround. And here we go, so I just have to put the warriors, but first a little complaint, because I will not be able to do that after that, is the only complaint I really have with this set is that this thing doesn't really hold that well, because it is just linked to 2 studs, and well, it's quite weak. So well, when you want to move these things around, be sure to really hold it, because if you well, it will be as you can see it detach itself quite easily. Just going to put the guys, of course, and then I will do the sum up of this set. So the Fire Sentry released in, it seems, 2005. I was sure that the sub-sim was released in 2004, but it seems on the box that it was released in 2005. So I do not really know, but well. And well, here's the box. So yeah, the Fire Sentry. So first, if you want to talk about the figures, so the figures are really cool because, well, you got first 2 different armies, and that was not the case with the previous battle packs, because remember, for example, in the Crystal Wars sub-sim, when you bought the Draga battle pack, you just got, in fact, 3 Dragas minifigs. And here it's not the case, because you got both armies in one set. This means you're going to have 2 Draga, but you also, well, 2 Fire, excuse me, but also 1 Ice Vorgan. And that's quite cool, of course, if you want to just play with one set, because you can already make some battles between the 2 sides. So that's a first good point. And the second good point is that, well, you got the 2 unique mod released, well, 2 of the unique mods released in the Fire and Ice sub-sim, so only the 2 fire heads, like I like to call them. It's pretty stupid, but I guess it's also pretty obvious. So the 2 fire heads, which are unique to the Fire and Ice sub-sim, and well, it's quite cool to Megabloks to give you these 2 exclusive figures in a small price set, because you do not have to buy a bigger set to get them. So of course, there are also some other unique figures which are only released in bigger set, but for this ones, well, you can offer them at a pretty cheap price. And the Ice Organ is not really new, but at least it's a new recolor and it still looks good. And now for the building itself, well, I think it's a nice addition to the collection, because, well, first it features some regular bricks like the 2x4 bricks, and also some more specific parts, like for example the base plate, then the new type of blocky flames, and also this type of parts right there, which are really unique to the Fire and Ice sub-sim. So it's quite cool with some nice parts, and overall it's a great little set, because apart from these things which doesn't really hold well, except for that, the quality is pretty good, it's pretty top notch, and well, it's a good set, and it's a nice set for beginners, I guess, because it's not it's a cheap little set. So it cost at the time of its release, it costed like 10 euros, so I guess $10. And well, it's pretty complete. Like I said, you got the 2 armies, 3 soldiers, plus a little buildings with nice original parts, new mods, some other traditional bricks like the 2x4 bricks, and overall a great little set with only a little complaint, which is about the weakness of the part on the back. But apart from that, great little set, and I can really advise you to buy this set if you're first to Dragon's Universe, or if you want just to complete your collection, because it's still cool, even if these 2 warriors were also released in some other sets. But well, at least a nice little set, nicely priced and with nice content. And that will be all for this review, guys. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask them and post them in the comments section of this video. I will happily answer them. And that said, well, hope you enjoyed the video review, guys, and see you later for another video. Bye bye.